What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Yamcast. Today is episode 99. Folks, the Yamcast is one scant episode away from turning 100, a centennial, triple digits. That's a big one, Brandon.
It is. We still have to plan that out.
we have about 2 weeks to plan it out. Today, we are covering news, of course. We're giving it to you fast, dirty, and sweet. Aprilia RS 457 dropped, brand new beginner bike. They say it's the best, the lightest, the best in the class.
The best. It's the best.
I don't believe them. And I have a lot of things to say about the RS 457, which is the way I'm going to say it starting from now. We also have news from Ducati, brand new electric superbike. Some notes about that. The article does make some very highfalutin claims. It is basically perfect or something like that, right?
Yeah. Apparently it is beyond perfect.
I don't.
We'll see. We'll read into it.
I don't know about that. We'll check that out. Read that for you guys.
I would really love to see.
And then we have news from Triumph.
Triumph, just for you.
Just for me. Some news from Triumph. We're going to leave it a little vague there. Our main discussion topic today, Brandon and I will be telling you what our ideal 1-bike, 2-bike, and 3-bike stable will be. Brandon, if you tell me your ideal 3-bike stable is 3 Super Dukes, I'm going to hit you.
Can it be 2 Super Dukes?
Going to hit you live on camera.
Can it be 2 Super Dukes?
It could be, yeah. In this case, one's broken down.
And then one just Duke.
Yeah. I feel like your 2-bike is a Super Duke and a Super Duke GT.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And then the last section for the Yamcast today, I'm going to be totally real with you guys. We phoned this one in because we forgot to put up a contest on the Discord, and so we're doing open-ended questions from Discord and YouTube. So if you're watching live right now, drop a question. I will try my best to get to it at the end of the show. Without further ado, folks, let us jump right in. Here we have Maverick Vinales walking, go to the RS 457. Let's take a look at this bike really quick. It's kind of a small photo right there, Brandon, but I think we can already get a pretty good sense of what this bike is. First of all, what do you think about it? Gut impression, RS 457.
Meh.
Oof. Whoa.
Meh.
Why?
Something about it just doesn't look quite right. If I look at a specific part of it, I'm like, oh, that looks good. But if I back up and look at it, I'm like, it's missing something.
I think it's not differentiated enough from the 660. I think it looks almost identical to the 660, right?
Yeah, I like how it has an undertail, not an undertail, but below belly exhaust, and it looks like it has a badass frame. Yes.
So let's jump into this really quick. Aprilia has come out with the Aprilia RS 457. This is their new parallel twin beginner bike. Super cool that they're making something like this. You can see single-sided brake disc over here, smaller engine. This is giving you the Italian flavor in a pint-sized package. They're the first ones to do this. Ducati doesn't have anything like this. Who else? Triumph doesn't really. I mean, the Trident 660, their new Scrambler 400 is kind of like that, but it's not a sport bike. This, I mean, look at that frame.
That's a frame.
That is an aluminum twin spar frame with the engine as a stressed member. That is, I didn't know they could do that. in this pint-sized package. Look at that. It's awesome. I think this is going to be the best handling little bike by far.
I think it will be too, but I feel like there's definite compromises with this. I feel like there's something that's wrong with it.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Something's just telling my gut that something's wrong with this bike.
Being negative, Brandon. Why? What do you mean? What's wrong with it? What do you think? Look at the frame.
The frame. Okay. Well, okay. So how about this? Answer some questions for me. How much does it weigh?
Okay, so that was my big point of contention.
Yeah.
Aprilia states here, if I can find where it stated this. It says any more power and it would be illegal, because it's the A2 license compliance for the European market, right? The Aprilia RS 457 is powered by an ultra-modern and technological liquid-cooled twin-cylinder engine, blah, 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 47 horsepower. Great. The Aprilia RS 457's power-to-weight ratio is simply unbeatable. Simply unbeatable, thanks to its 350 pounds dry weight.
I know where you're going with this. How much, or rather, how heavy is a Ninja 400?
Oh, Brandon, I've got it ready to go right here for you. Ready? A Ninja 400 has a curb weight of 366 God-given pounds. and it makes 48 illegal horsepower. So did the regulations change? Because I don't understand how they're saying this is the best power to weight ratio and it's unbeatable, because it's simply not. This thing is a porker. It weighs 400 more pounds than a Ninja 400.
Not 440.
4,000 more pounds.
Two times more. It has
40,
more horsepower.
40. I've had a lot of candy, folks. 40 more pounds than a Ninja 400, Brandon.
40 more pounds. Probably wet weight to wet weight, and has one less horsepower. What's the torque figure on this thing? Do we know? Does anybody know?
I don't think anyone has torque figures on it, but I'm assuming out of an engine that's, I'm assuming 457 cc's, 450 cc's, somewhere about there, right? It doesn't say the engine size on here. Got to be a little more torque. This to me is like Aprilia's CF Moto 450 SS, right?
Okay.
We have a loaner one here in the shop. We're doing some cool stuff with it later on this month. Yeah. It's basically that's
a direct competitor, but the Ninja 400 is technically lighter and has more power, and comparable, we'll say, torque figures.
I hate how in this category you get a bike and it's always like, well, the Ninja 400 is better.
The Ninja 400, yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
What's the price tag on this thing?
It's gonna be way more than Ninja 400, because look, it's an Aprilia and it's got this adorable TFT display, it
has a fuel gauge. Look at that.
Rider modes, Aprilia traction control, movable levels.
And a 400?
Because you need I bet it has launch control, Brandon.
It probably works. Actually, no, it's Aprilia, so it probably doesn't.
It probably doesn't, yeah. It's got rider modes. It's got a fuel gauge. It's got all kinds of stuff. All the APRC technological innovations. It can sense your battery volts. That's nice.
I guess.
Very, very
connect
important.
To your phone is what I'm looking at there.
It can give you the service intervals, because you're going to need those, because it's an Aprilia.
Yep.
It's going to cost a good grip of money, I think. It's not going to be cheap. But okay, let's talk about ergonomics, right? It looks more sporty than a Ninja 400. It looks like it seats pretty low.
Yeah, but that tank is really high up. Why is it so high?
Yeah, the tank looks quite bulbous
and
high.
It's like a little off.
But the RS 660 seats like that stock. It seats a little higher, kind of that upright ergonomic thing. And I think this is doing the same thing. I can see the shift rod over here. Looks like maybe you could attach a quick shifter module relatively easily. That's probably an added option for the RS 457 platform, I assume.
I wonder how easy it would be to switch to GP, because I wonder if that frame would get in the way if you flip it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to see where you would flip it.
It would have to be up at the top.
Yeah, it'd have to be at the top. You'd have to go up, yeah, and then it would flip the other way and probably touch the frame. But, I mean, if the architecture looks incredibly similar to the RS 660.
Yeah, it looks well laid out like the RS 660. If it's anything like the RS 660, it's going to handle fantastic.
It's going to handle really good.
But because they made the 660 in a class that didn't necessarily have a whole lot of 6-ish-esque bikes, there's a ton of 400-esque bikes that you can compare this to immediately.
There's arguably more 400s than you can shake a stick at this point.
Yes.
The question I had for you, as our resident fast boy racer, which I count myself among you as well, this 450 class now, you have the CF Moto, you have the Aprilia. It is possible that KTM might bump up their RC390 to compete, because all of a sudden now, for the, let's say, I'm trying to be charitable here, the less educated consumer, they see, oh, that's a 457, that's bigger than the Ninja 400, I want that. The CF Moto is bigger, I want that. Do you think that the Kawasaki's and the R3s and the RC390s of the world are going to bump up?
I could see, we've been talking about Yamaha being missing from the class.
Dude, they're nowhere right now.
We talked about them possibly going to an R5, but Kawasaki has no reason to make anything else. Their bike still leads the way in almost every single way.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
And it debuted in 2017.
It's so cheap. It has the perfect power to torque. The frame is okay. It's a decent bike.
It's all right,
yeah. It's fantastic. There's so many people racing these things, but I don't know. I don't see why Kawasaki would need to, because they're not losing. Why would they change this to something that's a winning combination for them?
Yeah.
But this is weird to me. And I always wonder, I'm like, why do we need the 50 extra cc's? Everyone would be like, oh, because it's the A5 or the Euro 5 emissions and stuff like that. The 390 already passed the Euro 5 emissions. So they don't need to bump up.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best handling 400 bikes out there. Like, top tier for me.
Yeah.
This would have to probably dethrone it, I would hope.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to
for being
imagine
that a frame.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't with that kind of frame, man. That's a huge deal.
The KTM has that cellist frame. Like, that's a frame too.
I know.
That's why it handles so fantastically. So it should be a direct competitor to that. I'm worried about it. I'm just getting that gut feeling about this bike that it's not gonna do as well as people think.
Yeah. I think maybe there's something I'm missing here, but I just think that the best power to weight ratio thing, I'm not understanding how they're coming to that.
Because as we just did from a Google search, the 400 is better.
The Ninja 400 is a better power to weight ratio. But I was curious to see. Let's see what the people on YouTube are saying here. Let's see here.
If it ain't broke, Aprilia.
Smoto Vapor says Aprilia making more things to fall apart on you, so you have to go to the dealership. I mean, that's fair. Do we think a beginner bike needs to have a TFT and rider modes and all that?
I mean,
not really, you know?
Let's be honest here. With ourselves, let's be honest here. If Ducati came out and said, hey, we have this Panigale 400.
Yeah.
Would we not buy it?
Yeah, I would buy it.
Yeah, I would buy it.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
A Panigale 400, I'd be like, I'm buying that, I'm racing it.
Yeah. I don't care how awful it is. I'm going to ride it.
Tiny little V-twin.
Oh, yeah.
That's I'm all about.
Yeah. If it's a V4, done. Take my money.
Like one of the old Honda V4s or something. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That have full TFT display, traction control, slide control, and it's a 400. We're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Callum says, I live in Italy and I can't find it in an Aprilia dealership, so I guess it's not out yet. So yeah, I think the RS 457. A lot of questions still, folks. I think a lot of questions here. Got to kind of figure this out a little bit.
You know, Vegihan's right where it needs to be. Read that one. Brandon doesn't like it because it's missing a Suzuki sticker.
That's very true. If it was a Suzuki,
I'd be like, there's probably something going for it.
Like a Gixxer 450, you'd be like, I think there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
here.
I think we should definitely get one of those. Give it a real chance.
You're like,
but
we should
Aprilia,
applaud Suzuki for being brave in this new world of 400s. So
be brave, Suzuki.
Yeah, come on, Suzuki, be brave. So yeah, I think.
But that's the thing with like Aprilia and Suzuki. Suzuki, we expect it to be just. It's a Suzuki.
Yeah,
Aprilia, they hold themselves up here.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, no, you're here still. It's okay.
It is funny.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing so much better in GP and everything. People are like, you're down here.
You're still here.
It's okay.
You're doing great though.
They're like, we have 54 world titles. It's okay.
You're doing great.
You're all right.
With one of the most successful brands in the world.
Like, what are the old two-stroke? It's fine. Yeah,
you're okay.
It's okay.
You're okay.
Yeah, it's like some crazy uncle telling you your old stories.
Be like, oh, you're so cute. Like when someone races that, I'll be like, oh yeah, you did great for third. You did great. Good job, buddy.
You're like, that's a great result for your bike. Yeah, that's good.
Good job. Anyways, back to what we were doing. No.
What sucks about this is I feel like there's so many motorcycle models coming out either late this year or early next year. I feel like I have a deposit down on like 10 different bikes right now. I've been talking to my dealership and talking to people I know. Dude, I've thrown deposits at everything. Well, it's crazy. Like I gotta talk to Eurocycle and I'd be like, "Go, come on, like get me on the list. Get me on the list. I gotta be number one. I gotta be first. I gotta get an RS 457.
I gotta give one away.
I gotta give it away. Yeah. Just so that I give it away, and people are like, Aprilia reliability. I don't know if I want it.
Don't get me wrong. We do have to ride this bike,
100%.
But instead of being excited to ride it, I'm going to hold myself down here. Just in case.
Allow yourself to be surprised.
Be like, now I can talk next level about it. But if I'm here and I don't want to bring it down here.
Yeah.
It's an Aprilia. It's doing its best.
Exactly. Yeah. So RS 457 remains to be seen. I am going to be keeping my ear to the ground on this one, checking it out. But Brandon, let's move on to the next topic. It's Ducati's new electric superbike.
I'm sorry, you didn't say that right. It's Ducati's.
Ducati V21L Moto E Racer is a 170 mile per hour rolling laboratory. So
yeah, buddy,
these are interesting, man. So if you guys don't know, Ducati recently took over Energica in the Moto E Championship as the manufacturer. Right?
That looks so good, though.
It looks cool.
Yeah, they did just take them over. I will address what you just asked me.
Yes, you were just kind of flabbergasted about all the carbon fiber and the.
Gosh.
Ducati doesn't make anything that's ugly, and that's a great looking shape.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very cool. So, yeah, this article is going on to say that, for the 2023 season, the FIM Moto E World Cup became a world championship, and Ducati replaced Energica. Yeah. And let's just take a moment and.
So that's the power unit, I'm assuming.
It has to be the
if you keep going down just a little bit.
The battery pack. Wow, look at this.
That's a shape.
That's a shape.
Full carbon. Yeah.
Full carbon. Just
That's a shape.
wow.
But apparently, so early in the article, it said they were standing on the pit wall at Mugello, and it rushed by going into turn 1 at 170 miles an hour, just silently.
Wow.
That's crazy numbers for an electric
For an electric bike, that is
like if
bonkers.
them posting speeds like that out of nowhere, because I think the previous Moto e-bikes,
oh, dude,
they're like 140.
these are
or
so
something
much
like
faster.
That. Yeah,
These are
that's
so
insane.
much faster. And
that's Moto 2 level.
Yeah.
That's Moto 2 bike stuff right there.
And that's the thing that people always clown on the electric bikes in this category. They're like, oh man, like it's nowhere near a GP bike. And I'm like, it's getting there, man. Like it's getting there.
That if you told me that was a MotoGP bike, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, 100%.
I think the thing about these is, you see these, because Ducati, God bless them, they post this stuff on Instagram, and the comment section is a nuclear wasteland. You got people like do the little throwing up emojis, and they're like, no sound, no party, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
For them to just to put the numbers up that they're putting, especially Ducati of all people, that they kind of came out of nowhere with this. They're like, their parent companies are working on this stuff, but they specifically aren't. For them to all of a sudden take over Energico, I guess, for the Moto E category and supplier for that, of all people that you think would do that, is kind of crazy. And they're putting up ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
I want to ride one.
Yeah.
I want to ride one.
I think
absolutely.
The thing about it is so cool is, Ducati's shown that they just like, again, to rock up and your first at bat is this. It's like you have so much prowess in building motorcycles.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like there's so much knowledge in that kind of facility in that company to just do this first try.
Scroll down,
Pretty
you'll
cool.
see more pictures of how complex this machine is. Keep scrolling past this one.
Wow.
Look at that.
Whoa. Look at this frame. This is
the motor, the actual motor part too.
Yeah.
The battery is part of the frame.
Yeah,
That's
here's the battery, but then I guess this is
cooling.
motor.
It's
This
cooling.
is cooling, and then motor. Yeah, down over
'cause
here.
they
'cause
have
it's the direct
radiators.
drive.
It's liquid cooled.
Liquid
thing,
cooled.
yeah.
Liquid cooled
Battery.
Yeah. Yeah, so the caption here says, note the minimal front frame, which is what I saw here. It's reminding of Ducati's production machines. Yeah, the V4R basically has something like this, which is probably why it's so awesome to ride. They're just like, we're just going to make an electric V4R.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
If they came out and said, hey, this is 70 grand, you'd be like,
the V4E.
yeah, V4. Oh, there you go. Ducati hire us. There you go.
Yeah. So this guy says, if
yeah.
you compare this battery pack with other motorcycle or car battery packs, it's lightweight. It's unbelievable. Different motorcycles or cars have battery packs with the same quantity of energy that weigh double this one. So that was the big thing that I heard about this motorcycle, is how much lighter it is than the Energica.
What are the weight numbers? Because the Energica ones were like, what, 400-500 pounds or something like that? They were heavy.
Let's see if we can find weight. I don't know.
Was it up a bit or down a bit? I don't know. But though,
I can do a quick little control F here on the fly.
But for them to do stuff like this, 242 pounds.
The battery pack, surrounded by a carbon fiber shell, weighs 242 pounds, about half the weight of the entire motorcycle. So it weighs just 480 pounds.
Yeah. So
that's super impressive.
That's 20-ish, 30 pounds less than the Energica ones.
Yeah. And they're only what?
Because there
about
wasn't
100 pounds off a GP bike?
There wasn't a whole lot of weight you could trim off an electric bike to begin with.
No.
There was nothing there. That was the whole point.
Yeah, you have to make the battery tech lighter. That's the thing. Like
that's where all the weight is.
This is all the weight. And the CG is all messed up on these bikes because they're like, I mean, look at where all that weight is, you know? I've often found, I've ridden a ton of electric bikes, and I've often found the CG just feels so weird because they're like, it's like here, you know?
I feel like that CG is actually really low on that one because look at the cast aluminum motor, what it seems like at least.
This thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the heaviest
directly
bits.
in the center of the bike, low.
Yeah,
as
right
low
there.
as it could possibly be.
Mm-hmm. And if this is all lightweight and distributed
that's where all
evenly,
the water seems to be for all the liquid cooling too.
Yeah, the water's
low.
The hoses are being routed to here. I can see this. The reservoir is probably on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no gas. That's what's interesting about these. There's no gasoline to affect the weight because normally on a GP bike they're back here in the subframe. So this is, I mean, it's really cool. Like it's really cool stuff.
Dude, for Ducati of all people to just be like, oh, by the way, we're kind of the best at this.
Yeah.
It's like, Are you? I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
I bet Zero and Lightning are like, oh man, like
Aw.
we've been working on this for
Oh,
10
God.
years. They just show up first try and knock it out.
It's all that Audi money that they got.
Dude,
That's what's going. It's all that Audi
I hadn't
money.
thought about that. And Audi has a bunch of electric car technology too.
Oh, yeah,
they
no,
probably
it's the
just shared and
company.
talked, and they're like, let me
Hey,
just.
they're like, you're the best at motorcycles, right? And they're like, yeah. Here's electricity, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, here you go,
Yeah.
for no reason. No one asked for this. No one was like, hey, Ducati, let's make an electric bike. And they're like, oh, by the way.
The funniest thing about this too is I remember back, I think it was in 2020 or 21, Ducati came out very public and was like, we're never going to make an electric bike. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah,
Wasn't
whatever.
that just before the acquisition of Audi? Or Audi?
No, Audi was in 2012. That was way back in the day where Audi bought, the VW group bought Ducati.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 2012.
I just thought the VW and then
Yeah.
I
But
forgot about the group.
but I think Claudio Domenicali, the CEO, came out and he was like, "We're never doing an electric bike."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Okay, nobody asked, but that's fine."
Why are you so aggressive?
Yeah, why are you so aggressive?
He's so mean.
And then they just for whatever reason they picked up the Moto E contract and they expanded the championship, and now it's
They
the
did it
championship.
very quietly too.
Yeah.
No one knew this was going on
All
until
in
they
the
were like,
background,
by
yeah.
the way, we're now the Moto E people.
It's just such a flex to be like, we never built an electric bike before. Now it's the best one. It's like, what?
By a long way.
Yeah.
As
It's
far as we can
super
tell,
cool.
from what we know from the Energica ones, it's this is going to be next level for them.
Absolutely.
Next level.
One of the trickier things for us though, especially here, is we've had several electric bikes. I actually tried to take one on track, and at ECR they said I couldn't take it on track because of the batteries and the liability of a lithium ion fire. They're like, if
Okay.
it tips over, we don't have the ability to put that
We're
out.
in North Texas, so fire is a problem.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. So I don't know, like, not that I have one on speed dial.
Yeah.
This like $300,000 electric bike.
We'd have to go to Magello to go ride this thing, apparently.
Yeah, hey, I'm not opposed to
Not
that.
gonna complain, but
170 mile per hour on an electric bike sounds really fun.
yeah, it does.
Um,
I want like a video. I'm so sad that they didn't post any videos of this. At least in the article, they didn't.
I mean, you can watch them in Moto E.
Well, now you can.
They're racing them.
I want the Ducati ones.
Oh, the Ducati ones are in Moto E right now. The
are they?
2023 season, they're currently using those bikes. This is like
I should keep up with this.
This is going to be a prototype bike that I think they're going to sell as like to consumers. I think. You know?
I don't know.
So let's see here.
I don't trust
It
myself.
says here, Ducati is forthright about its plans to build a production electric motorcycle for many Ducatisti, like the wider motorcycling world, weight and range, to say nothing of a comparatively skeletal charging network, are points of concern. Furthermore, so much of the spirit of Ducati is wrapped up in its booming engine in terms of sensation it gives, what will distinguish an electric Ducati from any other electric bike. That is a big concern, I think. But I think differentiating by lightweight and handling is a big one. You know,
Putting a Ducati sticker on it also does stuff.
that does good stuff. Yeah.
You could show me two identical bikes and one had Ducati stickers. I'll be like, that one's like 40 grand more.
Yeah, see, this was earlier this year. Ducati Tech prepares a spare bike ahead of race 1 in Mugello. That's when the Moto E was racing there. So, yeah, you should, if you want to see them in action, they've been
I need to
racing
go
this whole
watch.
year.
I need to go watch because I have not watched any Moto E races this year, and I need
Yeah.
to.
So, yeah, see, there they are. Yeah.
That's a tasty photo. I could stare at that photo for a while.
It's pretty cool, man. And it's cool to see that it's, you know, like happening and new stuff is happening. But
Truthfully, when you're racing, low to the ground, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going fast. Do you think you look like that?
do you think you look like that?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And then you look at the photos, I'm just
Yeah.
upright.
Yeah, I think I'm that, like when I did my lap at Crescent, I thought I was that dude in the front.
Yeah.
I was just,
I am so cool. You look at the
photos
photo,
come
you're,
back, and I'm like,
you're this far from the ground.
yeah, I'm like, oh, well, I was like, it's a pretty decent lap time, but yeah, not good enough.
I'm still fast.
Still fast, you know.
They do cool stuff.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool about Ducati and this new electric bike. But Brandon, you have a final bit of news
This
that you
is
want
for you.
This is for me.
This-
You want
I'm
to
gonna
drive a
steal the
little bit?
mouse.
Go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
drive a little bit, my
just
friend.
So
What's the
you
news
are
here?
a simp of sorts, are you not? You're a Triumph simp, if you will.
I think that's accurate. I
That
sure
is
am.
that you can't deny that. We've already discussed that on multiple episodes. That
Can't
you
deny it.
are a Triumph simp, and in the past, you have also stated publicly that you will not ride dirt again. Correct?
Won't. No, I will not. No.
So-
even though we rode them for the Scrambler video, but don't tell anybody.
Don't tell me.
No.
They don't need to know.
No.
What do you think about your favorite brand now making a 250cc motocross bike?
This news has been kind of bopping around for years now, and
It
I
has
guess
come to
we
fruition.
finally have it. I guess we have a Triumph honest to God dirt bike with Rick Carmichael.
Ricky Carmichael of all people
hanging out there doing fat whips. Yeah, it's a new chassis, ground up engine, all that stuff. We just scroll up to let me see the photo of the bike a little bit better.
We'll watch this little video here.
I don't think we can because I think YouTube might copyright strike it.
Yeah.
But let's look at this photo here. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I squint my eyes, I'm just like, it's a black KTM.
It's a dirt bike.
It's just
a dirt bike looks like a dirt bike looks like a dirt bike.
yeah.
But his chest says Triumph on it, so it must be a Triumph.
I'd be curious to see because I don't think we have any detailed specs on this machine yet. Just like what is different about this?
That I'm also curious about because Triumph hasn't really entered this world before. They make scramblers, stuff that can survive off-road, not stuff that can fly 60 feet in the air and survive the landing.
Yeah.
And go fast while doing it. But how does this make you feel in your gut? And because being the simper that you are for Triumph, A, do you wish it was a triple? And B, are you going to ride one?
So I think it's a travesty. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's cool. I think it's cool manufacturers trying new stuff. But yeah, I think most of us are skeptical, kind of be like, what's it going to be like?
Because when you think of a Triumph, you think of a speed triple or a Daytona.
I think of a street triple, a Daytona. That's what I think of.
That's Triumph.
A Bonneville.
But be like, oh yeah, I got a Triumph 250. You're like, huh?
You're like, when did they make a 250? And then like you pull up on that, you're like, oh.
Huh?
But that's the thing. I think a lot of guys they want to try the new thing. They want to be early adopters. They want to try the newest thing. And this is the newest thing. And I think, with Ricky Carmichael at the helm, it can't be that bad, right?
I don't know anything about dirt because I fall over a lot, but I know pros kick up the dirt really high in the air.
Yeah.
And that dirt's really high in the air. So that must be a cool bike.
Must be a good bike. And it looks like he's getting it pitched out sideways. If you scroll down.
He looks fast.
He's
it's Rick Carmichael.
He's in the air.
Yeah. See?
Or somebody's in the air. I don't know if that's Ricky.
He got a lot of speed to go higher than that tree.
Yeah, you got to go pretty damn fast to be with the rear wheel pointing forward. If I was in that position, I'm about to die.
We are so dumb. I know we are, but still. I saw this and I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. They've been working on this for a long time, though. I think I heard about this in like 2021.
Rumblings of it, and everyone was like, nah. And now they're like, hey, by the way.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. And they're like, what? Why? Why did you do it?
Yeah, it's almost like if, to be honest, it'd be like, and this would be super sick, but if like Harley Davidson was like, yeah, we made a super bike.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what?
By the way, we're kind of the best, you know? It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, it's like, this is like some like Looney Tunes world. They're like, Valentino Rossi helps Harley Davidson make a super bike. You're like, those words sound awful coming out of my mouth. Like, what am I talking about?
Oh, by the way, we have something to rival the V4. You're like, no, you don't.
What are you talking about?
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
It's a twin. No, I saw that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, you don't. It weighs 1,000 pounds, and no, you don't. No,
yeah. 100%. So I mean, but this looks like the real deal. I was worried whenever they were talking about this. I was like, are they gonna do like a new thing, and it's not gonna work? But it's pretty traditional. But that's kind of Triumph's thing. They don't really like break out of the mold and do like crazy shit. They
kind of did with the triple though. They were the only people for a long, long time that did the triple.
Greatest bike ever.
Okay. Anyways,
you're like, oh, I want to keep working here. So
anything else? It's a great bike. It's a great bike. Looks good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I want to know when it's going to hit production and go on showroom floors because I at least want to look at this bike.
I want to look at it up close.
I have not said publicly that I won't ride dirt bikes. I've only told you in privacy. So. So I can still ride this. You can't.
I cannot.
I can crash this all day long. You can't do anything about it.
I told everyone that I don't ride on off-road anymore, and I don't. My toe can't take it anymore. That's the thing. My toe points 45 degrees off center. So
with my strong hand.
Yeah. Motorcycles hurt when you crash them, so don't do that. And I'm tired of crashing them off-road because it hurts worse. I want to, like I said, want to see this up close, like you. I want to see how is it different. How is it better?
I don't. That's the thing. This world, I know so little in. Yeah. If you told me this bike is miles different than this bike, I won't know. I don't know.
They all look the same. Honestly,
I do know. I love a KTM dirt bike, but that's because that's what they do.
Exactly.
So
it's probably how dirt guys feel when you show them an R1, a Gixxer, and a ZX10. Like they're all the same. Yeah, and you're like, well, kind of. But
then you're like, no, they're not. Yeah. No, it's. I get it.
Yeah.
but I don't at the same time.
I was kind of hoping, like you, not a triple, but just I was hoping that maybe they would do like some paradigm shifting.
Yeah, just
thing.
some.
Do you remember
thing.
the Aprilia made the SVX 550? It was a V twin dirt bike, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. You know,
it was like a dual sport type thing.
It was they made a motocross one and an enduro one, I think. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking cool. You know, like, what is that? Like a V twin.
They kept that so quiet though. It didn't work out.
It didn't.
I never rode.
I don't think it worked well. But look, like I said, the dirt bike is like it's a known quantity. It's like you make them like this because they work.
Yeah,
no one figured out a better way of doing it.
It's everything's in the motor.
Yeah, everything's in the motor here. So,
anyways.
Yeah, I think that's all to say about the news for this week.
Yeah, we don't have a lot. I just want to know how you felt as the true Triumph simp that you are.
I feel conflicted. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and I feel like I exited the dirt world at the worst time possible because I could be a Triumph freaking dirt bike guy. I could be simping road and dirt, man. Like, come on.
But it's funny how you always say I'm a Triumph simp. And what is your daily/favorite daily motorcycle?
Oh, my Ducati.
Yeah, my Ducati. Yeah.
My Ducati. Yeah. That's the way the cookie crumbles, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I love these bikes through and through. Would you ride it? No.
Yeah. Like, oh, I love them so much. Like, do you own one? Kinda. I have a race bike I barely ever ride, but that's cool.
It's in the corner.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite bike.
Yeah. All right, folks. So now we're gonna kick off to the main discussion part of the podcast where we talk about our preferred 1, 2, and 3 bike stables. But Brandon, before we do, let's jump over to YouTube, see what people are saying. Oh, try to answer this question, Brandon. Chris RS. If your tire skids when you downshift, does that mean I am not rev matching properly? No, it means you're about to back it in like a sick motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. It means that you probably don't have a slipper clutch and your tire's taking up all that load and you've let the clutch out too fast. What do you think?
Yeah, just slow down your clutch, letting it out. You can, if you rev match perfectly, you can downshift without your clutch. Now watch the comment section just blow up. When I say that.
They didn't like that.
Yeah.
I can already tell they didn't like that.
You just feel the rumblings are just, all the keyboards are firing up right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it without a clutch if you rev match perfectly. Mm-hmm. But to fix your problem that you had, just let your clutch out slower.
Yes, exactly. This guy, great question. When will Triumph change the street triple frame? Never. They perfected it in 2013, and they never need to update it. It's perfect. This is how I feel whenever you're like, my Gixxer, bro. And I'm like,
Gixxer. No. What happened at lunch the other day? Who's winning the Superstock 1000 races?
Who was it? Hayden Gillum, right?
On a what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Say it. Say it in the mic.
I'm not saying it.
Say it.
I'm not saying it. You say it.
It's a Gixxer, bro. It's a motherfucking Gixxer.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is what I have to deal with, folks. All right. Moving on to the main topic of discussion today, Brandon, we are talking about our ideal 1 bike, 2 bike, and 3 bike stable. I haven't given this any thought, honestly.
I have, because I'm using it currently to justify a purchase that I shouldn't be making.
Very true. Let's start off with what do you want to do, 3 bike or 1 bike?
Let's start with 1 bike. Let's go.
All right, let's go 1 bike. So you have the option to have 1 bike. It's going to fulfill most of your riding preferences, whatever you want to do with your motorcycle, because we're not saying like, oh, this is the best 1 bike for anybody. It's the best bike for you. What would you want?
Any bike for anything is going to have compromises in some thing.
100%.
But for me, I'm going to want a bike that can do a 2,500 mile road trip like we were talking about, go to the racetrack, and have some fun on, and just be comfy as a daily.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 things. That's what I want in my 1 bike. I want it to do anything, rain, snow, shine, hot, Texas weather, that type of stuff. I want it to do everything.
Yeah.
And because I'm, again, using this to justify a purchase that I shouldn't be making right now, that bike is the KTM 1290 Duke R Evo. Yes. I want that bike so bad.
Okay.
I want that bike so bad.
Why would you choose a KTM 1290 Super Duke R Evo?
So, A, it's a cool name. But B, more importantly, it's comfy. We know the naked classic category is they're good for long road trips. They can be daily. They're probably arguably the best at it in those categories.
True.
The Duke R Evo, we've seen, and I've told you many stories about, like stock ones can go 15s around Crescent.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know Crescent, that don't know the racetrack, That is really fast.
The lap record's a 13.
Yeah.
And for someone that hasn't seen the track before ever in their life, shows up on a stock Super Duke and does a 15.
Is that stock tires too?
No, those were race tires. Those
Okay.
Those
Slicks,
were
okay.
Dunlop
Yeah.
DOT tires. Dunlop DOTs.
Okay. I thought it was off the showroom. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, everything else was.
Yeah.
Because it was
That's
still being
impressive
ridden.
though. Yeah.
It was rode there
Yeah.
like that. But yes, it was raced on those tires.
Wow.
15s.
Yeah. I mean,
Insane.
I get it, so you're going for the hyper naked. You want a lot of power. You want something. I mean, you saw that it has saddlebags as an option.
Uh-huh.
You want to do big miles on it. I think it's a good choice. Yeah. No compromises, that's for sure.
That's a
big bike. That's a powerful
big
bike.
I can be 6th gear doing anything I want to.
Yeah.
Just fine. Stop and go traffic, 6th gear. You're just fine.
Dude, a lightweight guy like you just
That's
fly on that thing.
177 horsepower and 120 foot-pounds of torque?
I think it's 103, but who's counting after 100? Who
it shouldn't
cares?
have 100 to begin with. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
How much torque does an R1 have?
Like 86.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not much.
How much does that Ducati out there have?
Oh, I think the Ducati, the V4R has...
I think it's like 90-something, isn't it?
No, I think it's like 83. It doesn't have that much torque because it's a 998 and it revs a ton.
So you're talking 20 more foot-pounds of torque than any of these beautiful badassery bikes that we have out there.
Yeah.
It's I can't find a fault in it for me. And I'd like to simplify. I have never ridden one. I have never ridden one, but I want to so bad.
Abject simping. So I like it. I like your KTM simp.
Yeah.
You want to go that path.
That's my one bike. Do everything stable.
Yeah, I like it. I think for me, the one bike for the kind of stuff I like to do, this is hard. Honestly, this is difficult because I don't really do huge big road trips. I've done like 2 ever on a motorcycle. It's just not something I find myself doing a lot. So really, I don't really need a bike that can do huge miles. So I can kind of.
But it is a possibility because we always keep talking about.
That's true. It's a possibility. So I don't want to go super aggressive with it. But I also, I wouldn't want like an R1 or a V4R as my only bike. That's ridiculous. Because I still want something I could enjoy on the street. To be honest, and you're going to get mad at me. Sorry, you are. I rode last year the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 Double R.
Okay.
It's the fully faired one. So it's like this half faired, like Speed Triple 1200 engine, same frame. That bike was fucking sick.
What would you use the bike for? What categories are you following this bike for?
Yeah, so for me, I would be, I can't race because I've only got the one bike, and I'm not just going to have just a race bike. I need to have a road bike
race
too.
Bikes out.
Huh?
You're just gonna cut race?
Are you gonna race the Super Duke?
Yeah.
How?
It's
in
gonna
what
be
category?
At the track. In the A class, it races against 1,000 because it's a twin.
So you're gonna put like a belly pan and stuff on it?
Yeah.
You're just gonna send it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good.
It's a twin. It could be a 1,300cc twin because
if
it's a twin.
look, for me personally, if I can just have one bike, it's not a race bike. It's a track day bike. It's a daily bike. Yeah. That's what I do.
For that once in a blue moon race, you'd be like, why not?
Yeah,
it's fun enough. You're going to have more fun than all the other guys.
I'd chuck it on. Sure, I'd race the Speed Triple. Fine. I'd figure out a belly pan. 415 pounds?
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. For having a 1200,
and it makes 177 horsepower.
So
it's the same as your
like
Super
the
Duke.
direct competitor to the Super Duke, isn't it?
Dude, it's nasty. Yeah, so the naked version is. And so this Speed Triple 1200 Double R is a fully faired version with clip-ons and like a half fairing thing, but it's still kind of comfortable. So I rode it on track and it was awesome. It worked really well and it made a ton of power and like I was flying on that thing. I was like, this is super fun. And then I took it out on the street and I was like, this is super fun. And I was like, there are no compromises with this bike. This is amazing. So honestly, if I were to have just one bike, it'd be that bike, I think. Just a beautiful Speed Triple 1200.
Simple.
Brand
See,
new.
I'm just like, I have to have the earth-shattering noise.
Let me show you, because I don't think you know what it looks like. Let me just show you really quick.
For me, I can't beat that Duke's sound. Put a full system on that Duke.
So for me, I would get it. I would get it in white, and it's this bike.
That looks cool. I will give you that. It looks cool.
Dude, it's a really cool bike.
That's a fat seat.
Yeah,
that's a fat seat.
So you see the ergos aren't like horrible.
Not horrible,
but
if you ever did come to fruition that you wanted to do that long road trip that we're talking about,
I'd do it.
Really?
I'd do it. Yeah,
it'd be comfortable enough.
It has cruise control, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It's got some
yeah.
It's got some electronics. And and look at that, you can do a nice little stand up wheelie with it. So
that's not a dank nooner though.
Yeah,
you can do dank nooners on KTMs.
So I like that bike. That would be my one bike, I think. That would be my one
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Two bike stable.
You start us off on the
start us off?
Yeah.
Man, this is where it gets tricky because you have options, you know, where you're like, okay, now I can kind of differentiate.
Purpose-built something and something that does the other.
Something kind of more daily.
Yeah.
And so now you can kind of get a little more specific with them. Honestly, I already own one, but I'd get something similar. One of my bikes would be, I think, a Triumph 1200 Scrambler XE.
The one that we just had. Okay.
That would be my daily bike, my road bike.
To replace your current Scrambler.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Super fun, super capable, really enjoyable, really pretty, lovely little thing. And then because I don't ride off-road anymore, and I don't care about off-road, my other bike would be a race bike.
Which one?
It's tough, right? I think, man.
To sprint race. I have to specify to sprint
race, yeah. Oh.
Tricky, isn't it?
It is tricky. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say V4R.
For your track toy.
I'm sprint racing it. I'm sprint racing it. It's my track toy.
I mean, this is our dream stable.
Yeah, it's a dream stable. Yeah.
Okay.
I loved that bike, dude. I'm sad it has to go. Like, genuinely sad. Like, my heart
You didn't
breaks.
have to give it away.
I know, but it made sense to give it away, you know. But anyways, the V4R, yeah, superlative, amazing. It's such a good thing on track, you know?
It's just a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. And besides it melting your utter soul, it's a good bike.
Yeah. So, yeah, because for the Triumph 1200 Scrambler, you can ride that thing all day. You can do big trips on it. You can do cool shit with it. Yeah, the V4R, you're the coolest day. You're the coolest guy at the track, dude. The coolest guy on track. Let me call you a freaking V4R. Even if you're slow, you're like, it's still a V4R, you know?
Like, I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
It sounds good, looks good. My pictures look faster than your pictures.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't care if I lost the race or not.
Yeah. So I think that would be my two choices. What about you? Two bikes. What are you going to do?
So for me, because I've always had a desire to do long road trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still,
Gold one.
No. I feel like
You're disgusted.
No.
Oh.
I feel like the Duke is still in play for that purpose, but I wouldn't take it into the track anymore. I would downsize it to just the Super Duke R, and not the Evo.
So wait a minute. So this is like you're not ever taking it on track, and you still aren't getting the GT or the Adventure. You're just still okay.
I love
it's
that motor that much because that was the motor that obviously a bit of changes that was in the old RC8.
That's true. It is, yeah.
And
they bumped it up a little bit, the displacement, because the RC8 was 11. What was it?
1170 or something like that.
But it's the same architecture.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Again, bit changes, a little.
And the RC8 is chef's kiss. That bike's amazing.
Hearing an RC8, or rather just that motor, off of a NASCAR straightaway.
Yeah.
Because I raced Texas World back in the day.
Vibrating.
It shakes the earth beneath you.
Yeah.
I got a similar feeling when I felt the Buell 1190. That motor just bellows, and you just feel the vibrations below your feet, and it's a phenomenal thing. I'd probably just have it just to sit in my garage to start it. That's probably what I would do. My second bike to race, because I would have to have a race purpose bike, because I don't ride the street that much. I really don't. I want to more, but I want to go places. I don't want to just ride to ride.
Yeah.
It's not fun for me. But my purpose race bike would probably be...
Don't say it. I know you. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah.
Just say it.
I know. It's a Gixxer 600.
Oh, not 1,000?
No.
Interesting.
I'd have to get that Gixxer again.
Oh, because you're not like me. You actually want to like be good and competitive.
Yeah, I want to be competitive.
Yeah. I was like, I'll get a V4R and just putz around. Yeah,
because
I don't care.
Again, I will tell you for the bajillionth time, that 600 had 135 rear wheel horsepower.
So you want that Gixxer?
I want that one.
Yeah.
Because I have had my personal experience out of ECR turn 5, the uphill. Ty Howard on the inside of me on his RC8. I am on the outside of him. And an equal on the old configuration, just going straight to turn 6. An equal drag race up the hill all the way to the braking marker. And because I'm on a 600, I can outbrake him. And hearing that bike and staying neck to neck with it on a 600, just it tickles you.
I get
in so many good ways. I want that bike.
There is something about like a perfect 600 that's just like this is the
Of
motorcycle.
all motorcycles I've
Yeah.
talked about, it's always been, you can tell in my voice, the special feeling that I've had in that bike.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
So we got to get you another. That was like an AMA spec 600.
That was, that was a 2012 Team Hammer 600.
Yeah. That's
and I
that's a full
utterly
build, you know?
destroyed that bike.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I want it back so bad. I've wanted it back ever
It's the one that
since.
got away.
It's the one that got away.
You could probably rebuild something, to that same
Oh,
specification.
but it would be a year of just building it,
It would
before
be
I
a
could ever
long
ride
time.
it. Yeah,
a long time.
absolutely. What's your 3 bike? Actually, I'll start this one off.
Yeah,
I'll start this
go
one.
ahead.
So
3 bikes.
3 bikes. I would have to have the Gixxer. I
Okay.
would have my track day toy. Probably be around. It would either be a R1 or a V4.
Mm.
I actually hold those pretty similar. They feel about the same in the hips, if you will. I never got to ride the V4 on track, so I don't know what it is.
I know. God took that away
But
from
this
you.
would be just a track day toy, something that I
Yeah.
just got to look at, roast a couple of tires, and okay, cool, I can't afford a new set of tires type thing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hate me because I'm saying it for the 3rd time. Again, let me preface: I have not ever
This is insane.
ridden more than 100 miles in a single ride. Okay,
Uh-huh.
never. Like even the day that we did the scramblers, I think I rode like right at 100 miles.
That's
that day.
crazy. We have to get you to do a big road trip.
And
That's
because I
insane.
want to. That's why I'm pushing you so hard to do that 2,500
Yeah.
mile road trip.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
On a Honda
And
Monkey.
the bike that no, the bike that I want to do that on, that I feel like is the best for it, at least the class, is a naked class bike. And because I am such a freaking simp for it,
Wow.
I want that Duke.
That Duke was in every single one of your answers. It never left. Like my 2 bike was different from my 1 bike.
Why do you think I've been fighting for the last long time about buying that bike? It's a $20,000 bike.
I know.
There's no reason I should buy it,
No, it's.
but I want
I
to.
wouldn't even buy a $20,000.
I don't see a downside to that bike.
It's a pretty sweet bike. Yeah. I
There are
get it.
people I'm like, oh, this is hard to live with. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I would be that guy in traffic that I hate, just revving my bike for no apparent reason
Yeah.
because I like that bike so
Just to
much.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would live in the shop. I
So
have no problem with
it
that.
was a Super Duke,
Yeah.
a
That Gixxer.
V4 or an R1.
Yep. And then that Gixxer.
What is the purpose of the V4 or the R1? Just another track toy, basically?
Just another. I would have my purpose race bike and then a track day toy, just something I can have, go have fun with.
So there, even in your 3 bike, you're not going off road. You're not doing anything like that.
No, because I never have unless I have a group of friends wanting to go, I don't really have the desire to go do it.
Yeah.
I can go rent a bike and just do that. But something that I'm going to have in my stable,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be a dirt bike.
Interesting.
I've had a dirt bike in my stable.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it to you, actually.
Yep.
And it was a fantastic bike, had launch control, traction control. I loved that bike. That was actually, I don't know if you know this, that was my first and last ever brand new bike purchase.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was a KTM.
And it was a KTM.
Yep. It all comes full circle.
The moons are aligning.
Moons are alive. Yeah. So no off road. You got a track toy, a full dedicated proper
Right,
race
yeah,
bike, and the KTM. The Super Duke.
Yep, KTM. Across
Cool.
all 3 answers, it has to be that KTM.
You're gonna find my 3 bike answer kind of weird because
Oh, really?
I don't think I'm gonna pick any of the bikes I've picked so
Really?
far. I don't think so.
Because you can go specific.
Yeah, because for me it starts to change once you allow me to have more bikes. I can start being like, oh, I can have like a weird bike and this bike and do that. So
For me, yeah, because that was for me, because I feel like the KTM could do it all. The Duke can do it all. I want the specific race bike, the 600. I don't want 1,000 because I'm small.
mhm.
And the fun track day toy 1,000, just like, okay, cool. That's my toy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's where I'm at least. I don't
For
know.
me, I feel like once you reach 3 bikes, I'm just like, I'm gonna get fucking weird with it because I have 3 different bikes. Like I can make them do all kinds of crazy shit.
Those are
So
the only things I want to do, though. What do you want to do with them?
I want to do the same things, but I can now get weird with it. So let me explain to you.
Okay.
So now that I have 3 bikes in the stable, my bop around daily bike, if it breaks down or if something happens to it, it's not that big a deal. So I'm either going, you ready for this one?
Okay.
I'm either going Turbo Busa or Honda CBX from like the 70s, the 6-cylinder.
For a daily?
For my daily, yeah, my street bike. My street bike.
So like
You
today
give
you came into work on your
My
scrambler.
scrambler. I'd come into my Turbo Busa. The only reason I don't ride it is because it's broken. I love that bike. I love it. You don't understand. I'm telling you, until you ride it, you don't get it. Jixer Bra was the same way. He didn't get it until he rode it, and I will still go to bat for this bike.
I would like to point out. I hate to pause you in the middle of your 3, but you give me so much crap for being a Jixer self. Okay, motherfucking Jixer. All right.
Yeah.
And what did you just pick for your daily bike?
You know, a Hayabusa is a GSX 1300R. It's not a Gixxer. You of all people should know this. So I hate to be so, you know. Everyone's watching it too now. It's awkward, but you know, it's not the same thing. It's not.
Continue with the list. God, I hate
so one or the other. I think I'd coin flip and it'd be Turbo Booster or CBX because both of them are so
I can
rad.
see the CBX. Those are cool. Both
of them super rad. The second bike, I agree with you. I think if I had the choice to have 2 more, I want a competitive bike. I think I'd want to get something I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out and try to like win and do cool stuff with it. I think it'd have to be an R6. I'd have to go 600 and just full prep. Awesome, badass bike. I know it's competitive. It's a known quantity. I'm never going to have any questions about it. It's not going to be some weird thing like my Triumph. Like, I love my Triumph, but if I have a race bike, I want to win.
I probably would pick the R6 too if I had never rode that specific Gixxer.
Totally fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with you there.
So R6. And then my final bike, much like you, I want another track toy.
Just a toy.
A toy. But I
something you take out once every 3 months type of thing.
But I gotta be weird with it because I can be. Because like if I wanted to, I can take out the R6 and have fun with it. It's a race bike, but I can still rip it on track and have a great time.
Yeah.
So I'm going KTM RC8C. I'm getting that tasty 40K, fully specced out, bespoke, crazy bike. That's what I would do.
I didn't even... For some reason, I didn't even think about that. I could have gone just RC8 because I was limiting myself to just new for my track day toy for some reason.
This is a dream
I would
stable,
like to change my answer.
Because that's why I said Turbo Busa. My Busa doesn't work. I want a perfectly working one.
2 KTMs in my stable, please. A 1290 Duke R Evo for my cross-countrying stuff.
And then an RC8C.
And then just RC8.
Yeah, the old one.
Bare bones, no traction control, no wimp going on here. Bike for my track day toy.
That's your toy. Yeah,
I will change my answer to that.
Because originally you had R1 and V4. Now you're like RC8.
Yep.
RC8. Sorry.
Now I got 2 of the same motor basically.
Yeah. And then the third one was the Gixxer.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. That's a 3-bike stable. I like that. Yeah.
I'm a simp.
I just love how you had this consistency of like I'm gonna get a KTM in there somewhere. Yeah.
It's there. Whereas like all 3 conditions.
For me, I'm like,
I'm telling my wife every day. I'm like, by the way, I can get this. It's only $600 a month, probably. I don't know. Our credit's crap, but it's okay. I'm gonna get the toy.
That's how I am with my wife in the 911 right now. I'm like, she's like, why do you need that?
Yeah, my ass that too. She's like, you don't ride. I'm like, but I want to.
Yeah, she's like, when are you gonna drive it? I'm like, I would if I had it. You know?
And then you get it. You're like, I don't want to drive it. It's
I'm like, I don't have time.
Too pretty. I don't want to touch it. Yeah, oh no,
exactly.
There's a cloud. I don't want to get it dirty.
Yeah,
I know that's gonna be.
That's how your dad is with his Viper.
I gotta bring that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without his permission. Just
you guys let us know if you want to see a Viper on the channel. We'll get that
happening. An old 05 Dodge Viper.
Altmaier Sr.
Manual transmission.
That's right.
It's a manual transmission.
All that torque, baby. That's a good...
I want him to get a full system exhaust for that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it still has the stock exhaust. It's stock side firing exhaust, though.
Yeah.
Still cool. But I want to hear that...
pipes.
Yeah, I want to hear that V10.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
So those are our 1, 2, and 3 bike stable. Lots of points of contention there. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with us. In fact, I'm going to now check the YouTube comments, see what you guys
how many people disagree.
Are saying. So people are talking about the Yami Noob Discord. This guy said, sell the Viper and buy 3 Super Dukes.
It's not my Viper.
Tell your dad to do that, you know?
My dad, I told you that my dad had the F4.
Look at this.
MV Agusta.
Do you understand this? Being a Busa boy is different than being a Gixxer simp. It is different. Gixxer guys and Busa guys, totally different. I mean, look at me and you. We're totally different.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
You're like, might as well.
No matter how much you hate to admit it, we're not.
We might as well be cousins, yeah.
You make music, I listen to music.
That's right.
Same thing. You like to read, I like to... Whatever the opposite
watch
of that
TikToks.
Is. Yeah, TikToks. There you go.
Says you'll love it and always have the power when you need it. He was probably talking about the KTM there. That is a good one. The Duke.
I'm a Ducatista.
You're a Ducatista. That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
This guy said, neither of you chose a Crichton CR700W or a Suter MX500 as a track toy. Man, those are way too crazy. Those are way, like, I heard guys.
Don't get me wrong, if you gave me a good 2-stroke 500, yes. And the Suter would probably be it. And it wouldn't be a bike that I ride. It wouldn't be in my stable to ride. All of mine have a purpose to be ridden at some point.
That's right.
I wouldn't ride that bike. I'd probably ride it once and be like, best bike ever. Because I want to. They sound great. They look great. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-stroke. I love 2-strokes.
Yeah.
But no. No, I can't. I'm sorry.
And that Crichton 700W, the CR700, Guy Martin rode that, and he came off and he was like, that was the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm never jumping on that.
Did you see that video of the Suter going around Isle of Man?
Yes. It's crazy.
It's wheeling more than the BMW S1000 RR video.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, no thanks. Like,
what is this bike?
Yeah. No way.
Oh my gosh.
No way. Yeah, so now, folks, is the time for questions. We're taking Discord questions and YouTube questions. We're going to bop over to Discord and answer the questions over here.
Take care of our boys first.
And then we will join up on YouTube. So let's go. That first one is a bit silly, so we're not going to answer that one. Jay-Z asks, who's faster in a foot race, Yam or Brandon?
Me.
We don't know, Brandon.
Is this going to be a video? That's the title right there.
Who's faster in a foot race?
Yeah.
It's a short video. Maybe it's just a YouTube Shorts, because that's like not enough for a full 10. How are we going to milk that for 10 minutes? I have to talk about what is a foot. You start the video like, a foot is an appendage on the human body.
We made a 10-minute mod video, and all we did was change the levers.
That's right.
On the motorcycle.
That's right.
It was painful.
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. It can be done. Can be done.
All right. We might have to answer that question, because I don't know who's faster.
I think it's me.
Me in shorts with my thighs? You can't keep up.
Have you seen my thighs? I hide my thighs. There's a lot of paleness under there. a lot of paleness.
I feel like you'd bust him out there like Harry is a werewolf. I'm like, oh shit. He's so fast.
He's so fast.
Let's see here. So Matthew had a great question here. He says, how much does weight affect lap times? Can we get a lap time before and after with a weight vest as a fact-finding mission?
So I'm glad he asked that, because we want to do that now.
This is super
interesting. We never thought about it.
Yeah.
We need to. But my initial reaction to your original question is, how much does weight affect lap times? At the club level, not a lot.
I don't think so either.
Not a lot, because there are some fast fat dudes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fast fat dudes.
There's been dudes that I've been riding with them, and like they're big, they're portly, and I'm like really working to keep up, and I'm like,
just
damn.
They're sitting, they're barely leaning off the bike.
Yeah,
it's just they have infinite traction.
Those tires are on the ground.
No slip at all. So my initial reaction, no. I don't think it affects it, especially at our level. MotoGP level, if you get 160 pounds to 140 pounds, yes, absolutely.
Big difference.
There's probably a second difference there.
Yeah.
But at our level, and even pro American level, no. I don't think so.
You were mentioning, I don't want to call them out, but you were mentioning a front runner, stock 1000 Motor America racer, kind of a more portly, you know?
Yeah.
Bigger guy.
He's 40 pounds heavier than me, and I guarantee he'd whip me. Yeah, whip me, that's for sure.
So, yeah, I think we got to make this video now where we go out, take like a 40-pound weight vest. I think we're probably going to be more uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, like this is a lot of like mass moving back and forth. But I think the lap times will be the same.
I think what we should do a warm-up session in the morning. This is how we'll set it up. So let us know in Discord if you like this. We'll do a warm-up session in the morning with no weight, no whatever, no pushing, just warm-up session, okay? You do one session, I do the other session. So your session 1 and 3, I'd be 2 and 4, alternate. Session 3, you go out there and set a fast lap time as fast as you can without the weight. Then you give yourself 2 sessions with the weighted vest. I think it's fair. Give it a session to get used to it, and a push session.
Yeah.
And then take those lap times and see which one's faster.
I wonder.
I think that's fair.
I wonder how much it would be affected with a different type of bike.
I think we should have a control bike.
I know, but like, I wonder, like, I bet you if you're riding on R1, it will barely matter if you're wearing a 40-pound vest. I think if you're riding a Ninja 400, I think it'll matter a lot.
I think if we do this on the Ninja, it'll exacerbate the results enough to actually see a result.
Yes.
Instead of riding 1,000 and be like, well, yeah, I'm only 2/10, but I could have sneezed on that lap. So
I breathed a bit funny at turn 3, so I lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. So I think we do this on the Ninja, maybe after the season's done.
Yeah.
With our race bike.
I think it'd be cool. Yeah, on the off season in December or something, a nice day.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, get a weighted vest.
It's not perfect track conditions, but it's whatever.
You roll up on the grid, they're like, what are you doing?
What is that? Don't worry about it. I think we do that. I think we need to do it.
We should get ones with big titties on it. That'd be funny, right? Super funny. Hilarious.
Dustin, every once in a while, back in the day, when it was raining, used to put on floaties and like a tube around his suit when he raced.
Awesome.
You're like, yeah, that's
great.
Yeah.
So, Squidnut here, a bit of a strange question, directed towards you, so you have to answer it. If I were to take my bike out on a nice dinner, actually, this is the one I wanted to really talk about. If I were to take my bike out to a nice dinner, get her a little drunk and rizz her up to come back to my place and have a fun night of splendors, then out pops a half motorcycle, half man child. Would that child have a pedestrian's right of way on the road, or would have to be under the laws of an automotive? Also, have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the Holy Peanut? He's pretty great. I haven't heard of the Holy Peanut, but Brandon, I have so much I want to say about this. Give us your opinion first.
Which half is child, which half is bike, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That depends. I feel like if the bottom, whatever is the bottom, has to obey by that law. If the bottom is human, it has to obey by the pedestrian's right of way. If it's automotive, it has to, because that's the moving side. Your face isn't going to be a tire.
Picture this. 40-year-old man from about belly button down, okay?
No, it has to be belly. Like, we have to show a belly button.
We have to show, okay.
Have to show belly button.
Maybe like rib cage down, right? 40-year-old man.
No, we want belly button.
Okay, we want the belly button. We'll keep the belly button. Whatever, Brandon. I'm trying to get to the point here. 40-year-old man, belly button out, no pants, junk dangling. Top half of his body is a motorcycle, let's say an R1 fairing. The fairing he doesn't have, I guess he has a front wheel dangling in the front here. Pretty much always doing a wheelie, right? And the fairing is like maybe a mouth up at the top, and he can speak and look at you.
I think it's just fairing. Like those R1 headlights are your eyes, and you got the mouth.
Nice. Yeah.
There's no tire. It's
Dude,
just
somebody Photoshop this to me and drop it in Discord, because I can see it, but I don't think I have the time to create this, because I would invest like a weekend into this, and then ask somebody on Etsy to like paint it for me, dude.
Oh, you get posters and everything.
Wait a minute, this is a great merch idea. You just make this like one. This is genius. You make two versions of this shirt. One shirt is bottom half man, top half motorcycle. The other one, bottom half motorcycle, top half man. Because that one's more like a centaur, right?
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to pause right here.
Okay.
You're not going to like this.
Why not?
Submit those things. Send them to me, directly to me. If you're part of the Discord, send those directly to me. But the top half and or bottom half of whatever choice you want to do, or both, has to be Yams.
Yes.
Has to be him.
You can find my whole body, parts of my body online. Do whatever you want.
Parts. You can find parts.
Don't be lewd. Don't be graphic. But I know y'all are gonna send me with some tiny dicks, so that's fine. Whatever.
Has to be him.
Yeah.
Yes. Send those to me directly, and we will get those made immediately, whether he likes it or not.
I think they're great. I want this idea.
I will wear this in a video before I ever show him.
This is really for like diehard Yami Noob audience members. So the people who are joining our store and our site and stuff, they might be like, "What the hell is that?"
I'll wear it in a video before we do it, just to let them have their fun.
And then great.
Yeah,
Let's absolutely do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's awesome. Okay, Craig on here asks, I feel like I have to at least have the experience of owning a 600 class sport bike. Would buying a Z900 and give me 90% of the experience with big bump and comfort, or is the experience something only a super sport can offer?
Yes.
Second thing.
Yeah.
Is very different. And I think Brandon and I share the same thing. The frames are different. The power band is different. It's not the same.
It's the feel.
The feel.
A true super sport 600 like the R6, it's not going to be anything like your Z900.
No. Totally
It's not.
different.
And totally different.
Totally different.
Put both of them on the track. I don't care if you have 20 years of experience riding that
You ain't
one
gonna win.
Z900. The moment you hop on a 636
Oh.
equivalent, you're going faster on that bike. It's just
100%.
that it's purpose built for it. They're
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah. So sorry, it's not the same. If you had to daily a mini moto, which mini moto would you
Honda
pick?
Monkey. Honda Monkey.
I would pick
Honda
a
Monkey.
I'd pick a Honda
If
Monkey.
I couldn't pick the Monkey, I'd pick the Grom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd pick a Honda Monkey. Okay. Akuma RA, what are your favorite South African foods? Yam, a South African. Well, lucky for you, my wife is South African and her whole family's from there. So I like biltong. It's a jerky. So I like it's just dried meat basically. What's your favorite South African food, Brandon?
Turkey, I guess. I've never been there. I don't know what the food is.
Wow, you've never been to South Africa.
No. If they have a McDonald's, I'll pick that.
Wow, dude.
I'm pretty sure they
so
got a
cultured,
McDonald's.
so cultured.
Uh-huh.
CJ, are track days noob appropriate or should you be taking classes before you just sign up for one?
Sign up.
Yeah, just sign up because normally they have like a learning component to them. So they have like a school component and you'll sign up as a novice. You're going to run like a parade lap for half the day. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
If you sign up for the slowest group or whatever it is to learn and you know that you're new, they will ask to, you just let them know, be like, hey, is it the right class? They'll be like, yep, no problem. And they'll put you in a class to actually learn. You have classroom time after every session and you'll be good.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see if people here have dropped anything on YouTube. I don't think they have. Okay, Craig here says, Triumph Bobber, yes or no? I'm going to say no because I think the suspension's a little compromised on those bikes. The Bobbers, it's like they don't travel much. I don't know, I'm not a big fan.
I guess it's just a look. I don't know. I don't like that
Yeah.
look. Personally, it's just not my kind of thing.
Yeah. Whoa, everything just changed. Wait a minute.
Because you got some messages.
Oh, nice.
Like all at once. I feel like the Discord people want more attention, so they're just coming over here and
Oh, okay.
continuously typing.
Yeah, everything just changed here. I'm trying to see. What
You
the
lost
hell?
where you were, didn't you?
I lost my place, yeah.
Here, what about the Z1000 SX?
Z1000 SX opinion.
What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know how that's different from the Ninja 1000 SX. So you guys would have to let me know how that is different because I think that's the same bike. But I think those like 1000 upright kind of Japanese bikes from kind of like 10 years ago, they're all pretty good. But I wouldn't own one. They don't have enough character to me. They're kind of just like meh, And that's how I feel about it.
I don't know. I don't know what the bike looks like.
I don't know either. Yeah.
It has to come onto my radar for me to be like, yeah.
Douglas Grosh, can you have Josh Heron on the show, Moto America Medallia class? I do know who Josh Heron is. We've met before. I bet you we could do something with Josh. I bet it wouldn't be that hard. We just have to align it because he lives in California, I think, or New York. No, California. I don't know where he
Does he
lives.
live in California? I thought he lives. I
don't know.
I
Where
know
Josh lives.
his other family members live in.
Either
Georgia.
way, that's not in Texas. And
Yeah,
that's far.
it's either over here or
Way
over here.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
We'd have to get it definitely like what just happened when Moto America's in town. We'd have to do that. That's the only real way we could do it.
Nutsy with a question here. Yam, would you ride in 9 degree Fahrenheit or 113 degree Fahrenheit with your daily? 113 degree Fahrenheit all day. That's what I would do. I would
Yeah,
not
you hate
ride.
the cold.
I hate the cold. Hate it. Hate it. I would not ride in 9 degrees. I wouldn't be outside in 9 degrees. I'd be inside with a hot chocolate and a blankie. And a nice book.
If I could guarantee that there's no ice on the roads, I'd ride in -9 or 9 degrees or
Oh.
-9. Doesn't matter to me.
Ouch.
As long as I can guarantee that there's no ice that
Yeah.
I could immediately fall down with my Super Duke,
Yeah.
I would ride in whatever temperature it would be.
We had someone with a 650 question here. Let's see. Second for the 650 question. I'm getting my first. I'm deciding between the Ninja 400 or the 650. Only experience for me is the MSF course.
400.
400.
400.
All day. Don't get the 650. It's not a.
You hate that bike so much.
Dude, have you ridden one?
No.
They're not good. Yeah.
No.
Like an MT-07 destroys a Ninja 650 in every way, shape, and form.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's just my opinion on it.
I'll trust
That's just what I think. I'm just a dude on the internet. I might
I'm just
be
a dude.
a sentient dog. I'm just a guy. Anyway, if you could only pick one genre of motorcycles to ride for the rest of your life, which would it be?
Hyper naked.
It'd be hyper naked.
Hyper naked.
Yeah, because then I can get older and still ride it.
Super Duke.
This is just the Super Duke episode. My God, this guy.
This has been every day for him for the last.
It's been rough.
Anything he's like, what about the Super Duke?
Yeah.
What about a shop bike? Super Duke. Hey, can we do this? Yeah, with a Super Duke.
I'm like, what do you want for lunch? Super Duke. I'm like, Brandon, did you get that thing done? Super Duke.
Yeah.
I'm like, Brandon, we need to fix the race bike. Super Duke. I'm like, you're not helpful. You're not helpful.
Hey, when you get an exhaust, I'd be like, for the Super Duke? You're like, what? No.
It's horrible. Horrible. When will I see a Yami Dank Nooner? Well, actually, we're just talking about how we want to get some little pit bikes and keep
Yeah, a shop
practicing.
bike to practice that.
Why want to keep practicing wheelies?
Super Duke.
Let me go practice Super Dukes or
Let me
wheelies
get
on
a
my Super Duke.
$20,000 bike to practice my wheelies.
Yeah.
Give me very Demi asks a very simple question here, and I don't think I've ever actually asked for your full opinion of this bike.
Uh-huh.
I know in specific areas you think it's okay, but overall, what do you think of the ZX4? The double R?
The ZX4 RR?
Yeah,
it's a cool bike. I mean, if you want just like my gut opinion, it's a cool bike. You know, like it's cool that they made it. It's cool that it exists. It makes a cool sound.
Is there anything that would ever compel you to buy one with your own money?
No. No.
So
if you want me to be totally honest, because I was to put myself in the mindset of like, oh, this type of person would buy this bike.
Yeah.
If you're asking just me,
No,
I would never buy it.
Yeah, it's a cool bike.
No,
but
it's cool.
No, I would not spend my own money on it.
No.
Yeah, agree.
Would you?
No, I don't like it either.
No, I think it's cool. I like it.
When I rode it on the street and you had me do the daily comparison, it made sense.
Yeah.
It came into its thing. I still wouldn't daily one.
Yeah.
It made sense. I could see why people like it for that purpose, but not for me.
Yeah.
I would not spend my own money on that bike. It is not even anywhere close to my top 100 bikes that I would ride.
No, I don't think for me it's anywhere in my top 25 bikes I'd buy, but just that's where I'm at as a rider. Like, I don't really feel the need to buy it's such a niche little thing.
Yeah, which is weird because when you brought that to the track and I first saw it, I was like, oh, absolutely.
Oh, you were...
I was all over it. I was like, can I please? Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. You're like, we got videos. We're like, no, I don't care. All that stuff. I was all over it.
Yeah.
And then I got off and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I think it was just such a letdown for me. I don't know.
It was. Yeah, and that you rode it that first day. It wasn't flashed. It was on stock tires. It was some things are going on with it.
Yeah.
But I think even now, like, we've got an exhaust on it, tires, some mods. Like, I'm still just like, it's neat, but I wouldn't buy it.
No, I personally.
So, I'm sorry, folks. Sorry.
Oh, we got more questions.
Douglas says, what bikes do you own and only have one bike B? Well, we just answered that early in the podcast, so...
But we can answer the other part of that.
I can answer the ones I own. So, I own the Turbo Hayabusa. Doesn't run, but it will come back. I'm not giving up on it.
You keep mentioning that.
It will come back.
About just as much as I mentioned the Duke.
I miss riding it. That's the thing.
About as much as I mentioned the Duke, you're like...
You don't understand. When you ride that boosted... one day it'll be fixed, and you'll ride it, and you'll be like, I get it. I understand.
I'm waiting for that day.
Because it's like a couch with a rocket attached to it. It's amazing.
I'm waiting for that day.
So my Turbo Busa, I own that. I have a Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. I've got my Triumph Daytona 675 race bike that I haven't raced. It's being decommissioned into a track bike. I've got a Ninja 400 endurance bike. I've got a KTM 250 SX motocross bike that I'm trying to get rid of. And I've got a Husky FE 501S enduro bike that I'm turning into a supermoto. Did I miss anything? I think that's it.
I don't know your garage. I haven't been to your house.
You can see most of them here.
That's true. Most of
them are here. Yeah, I think that's it.
I own precisely 0 motorcycles.
You said that with so much confidence. Like, well, for me,
I know you weren't asking, but I'm going to tell you anyways.
That's funny. We got to get you a bike. This is ridiculous.
Can I make a suggestion on which bike that is?
For you?
Yeah.
No.
Super Duke.
Connor says, "Is this really live?" Yes, it is.
Yeah,
my friend. We are wrapping this up. I don't know how long we've been going on.
I don't know either. It feels like a while.
Yeah, this is 5:50, so we gotta wrap this up in the next 10 minutes or so. Someone asked something about Husqvarna or something about. Hold on a sec, because they asked me.
I see a CFO.
Oh, here we go. Just bought the Vitpillen 401 because of you. Husqvarna sending you checks? ? That's a great bike. I wish they were, because I think in 2021, and I still think this Farpillen 401 is like one of the best little beginner bikes.
I never got to ride that bike. I want
to get another one just so you can ride it and we can give it away because it's so popular. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool bike. So let's see what else. Since you're Yami Noob, Turbo R1 or Supercharged R1?
Would you turbo or supercharge a bike? Like if right now, would you, because you've ridden the H2 and you've had the Turbo Hayabusa, would you supercharge or turbocharge a motorcycle?
I'd supercharge it.
Supercharge it.
Yeah.
I think the H2 is much more. I haven't ridden the Turbo Boosa, but I feel like the H2 is just more linear.
It just hits. The H2 just hits so good. It just hits so good. The ZH2 is awesome. Yeah.
Super Duke R Evo or Super Duke Double R?
Nobody says that.
If I'm not correct, yeah.
Where?
Your mouse is right on top of it.
Oh. I thought you were just going back and memeing it. Brandon, stop, dude.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't the Evo R replace the Double R?
I don't know. I'm not a KTM simp.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, I believe the R Evo replaced the Double R. The Double R was the old 2015 version.
I think so, right? Yeah.
The Evo is the new one.
The Evo's the new one. Yeah, I don't think they have
I think they replaced
I don't think they have the Double R anymore. Maybe they do. I don't know.
If I'm wrong, correct me. Please let me know. But for me, at least right now, the R Evo.
Yeah. Christopher here asking a good question. Do you think CF Moto is here to stay or a flash in the pan?
We were talking about that for the last couple of days.
Yes.
And we can't ignore it at all anymore.
No. Apparently, they're coming out with a 675 triple and a 500cc
that and a
four-cylinder,
and a V4
and a
possibly.
V4 Superbike.
We're trying to figure it out. We don't know for certain. We want to, but I don't think they're gonna leave.
No, I think they're here to stay. The dealership that we're working with now to buy some bikes has told us that they cannot keep their 450 SSs in stock. They're just like, they fly off the shelves. So
they're telling us that they sell them before they even have them. Like, that's how much they're selling. So we can't ignore them.
I think they're here to stay, and they're doing a really good job. I think they're making good quality bikes, and it's cool they're partnered with the KTM. You know what's crazy? I heard that the 450 SS was actually the KTM RC 450 they were going to make, and it got scrapped. And then CF Moto picked up the patents, and they made the bike. So that's supposed to be a KTM, apparently.
Okay, so in that case, I changed my prediction.
You think about that when you ride it on track.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm on a KTM.
I'm on KTM. It's great.
Yeah. Has anyone caught their shoelace on their foot peg while putting down the kickstand?
Yes.
Yes, that's a no-no because you shouldn't be wearing normal shoes when you ride. You shouldn't have laces on you should tuck them in or do something with your shoelaces. That's not being good.
On the side note here, we can talk about how close we've gotten to dropping bikes. Oh wow!
I almost did it yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say yesterday. It just came right into my mind.
Yeah,
you put it on the kickstand. You're like, yeah, and on the background, I was like, that doesn't look right. And sure enough,
yeah,
and you caught it.
What sucked about that is I was on an incline too, so I was like, and then we got it on the GoPro, and you can hear me breathing, and then all of a sudden I don't breathe while I'm just like,
and then you just get all this breath of air at the same time.
And then you walk over, I'm like, I got it.
Yeah, I got it. Meander over. I'm like, you good?
So, yeah, anyway, CF Moto definitely here to stay. Oh, God. Vegahan with a tough question here. If you had to pick a cruiser, which would you pick? Oh, God.
I'd rather walk.
God. There's so much cruiser hate on this channel.
So, I forgot.
What would you pick? I know my answer if you want me to say it.
You say first. If I have to pick, I'll think.
So, for me, because it's the most fun one that I've ridden, although I still think it's weird, the Indian Scout. It's got the FTR motor basically, and it makes a little less power. But the cool thing about it is your feet are out forward. There's no rear grip, so you get on the gas, it just slides everywhere. And I'm like, did they mean for this bike to be like this? Because this is so dangerous, but it's kind of fun. You can like back it into corners and shit. But that's the one I would pick. What about you? What would you pick? VMAX? That's kind of cool too.
I don't know whatever. Tyler used to have one.
He used to have, didn't he?
No, I don't know. But he put like, he said he put like 10 G's in the motor. And I rode that once. It was sick. So fast.
You don't remember what it was?
No, I don't.
Was it a Harley or no?
I think it was a Harley. I don't know what it was.
Oh.
It might have been that. I don't know. But probably that. Whatever it was. Mythical. I know that doesn't answer anybody's question. But that.
Yeah, great answer. That one cruiser I rode one time.
You know the thing with the wheels?
The one?
The wheel.
You guys remember?
Has the motor. You know the one with the motor. That's the one I'd do. Yeah.
Big Ant says, Brandon has trouble picking because there are no Suzuki or KTM cruisers.
If KTM was like cruiser, I'd be like, hey, how about we get some cruisers?
Yeah. Concourse 14, the best cruiser. Man,
no.
oh my God.
That's such a specific bike.
I got to make this Concourse 14. I don't know if you guys are just super vocal, but man, there's always a Concourse 14 guy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't matter what I post. Someone's like, yo, Concourse 14. Like, damn, they're always out there.
It's
It's
always
crazy.
something. Always something.
Yeah. All right, folks. Think we have
Is
time
a hot
for
dog a sandwich? That's an important question.
I feel like it's so played out. I think it is. I'm a sandwich anarchist. I think anything in a piece of bread is a sandwich, basically.
I think it's a taco.
Fair? Just because of the shape?
Something on 3 sides,
Mm-hmm.
taco. On 2 sides, sandwich.
Yeah,
If you're splitting your bun, you're a psychopath.
that is weird. Yeah, don't split the hot dog bun. That's fair. Yeah, it's together, so it's more taco-like. Yeah, no, that's
Taco.
fair. Yeah. All right.
V-Rod. V-Rod. It was a V-Rod.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a V-Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those things are cool.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
I would get one. That's my bike. If I had to pick. Otherwise, I'd been walking.
This guy owned a concourse, did 165 mile per hour with bags. Nice.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
That's a lot of mass.
That is a lot.
All right. One more, maybe?
We got time for one more question. I'm kind of going back up here. Let's see if we can find a good question here.
Make it a good one.
Get a good final question, and then we are going to wrap up the podcast here, folks. Let me scroll back down. Maybe someone will give us a new one. Rebel 250 or Boom? Which would you choose?
Actually, hold on. I'll answer that really quickly if you can, but I can top that.
I'd choose Rebel 250.
Gixxer 250 or Boom 250? That's a better
God,
question.
as much as I hate to admit it, the Gixxer 250, like, it's
You would prefer that?
yeah, it's a better bike. The Boom is atrocious.
It
The
is.
Boom is like
But
atrociously
it
bad.
won't die.
Yes, it did die. We killed
The
it
starter solenoid melted.
or something
The,
else.
the motor is fine.
Brand, there's no gas in it. That's
There
what
ain't no
happened.
gas in it.
It's no
Ain't
gas.
got no gas in it.
No gas. All right, folks.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed this full kimono open YouTube live. We don't do these often, so I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to sign off here. So appreciate you checking everything out. Remember, go to yammynoob.co, become a member. It's a ton of fun. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Well, look at you. You've made it to the end of another Yammy Noob video. You should consider yourself pretty lucky because I have curated this one right over here for you to continue watching. It's probably just as good as the one you just saw. Unless you hated the one you just saw. I don't know, maybe leave me a comment down below about how much you hated it as well too. Or just keep watching this one. Make sure you keep watching Yammy Noob. Don't forget to keep watching Yammy Noob. That's the most important thing. Keep watching Yammy Noob.